All right. Looks like we have the majority of people here. So once again, welcome to the best of Prokeep in 2023 and what's next in 2024. So quick introduction. Brooks Young, the Director of Marketing here at Prokeep. We also have our co-founder and CEO, Jack Carrere, on the call, as well as our VP of Product, Brian Helm. So really pumped to have you guys here today to tell you a little bit about some of our favorite things that happened this year at Prokeep, as well as give you a really exciting sneak peek under the hood of what's happening next year. So without further ado, let's jump on in. So quick housekeeping notes. Everybody is going to be muted for the duration of the call due to the amount of people that are in. We will have a Q&A at the very end if we have the time. And if you want to just submit those through the Q&A through Zoom, that would be great. And we will answer those as we have time. And then also we will be recording this webinar, and we'll send it to all those who registered afterwards. So quick agenda for today. We're going to go through a brief history of Prokeep for those of you maybe that are hearing about Prokeep for the first time today. Some great milestones from this year. Brian's going to go over some of the top features and updates that we saw this year, and then give us a sneak peek of next year, and then Q&A. So let's go ahead and jump on in. I'm going to kick it over to our fearless leader, Jack Carrere, our founder and CEO. All right, Jack, take it away.
Thanks, Brooks. Awesome to be here and telling you a little bit more about where we've come as a company and some highlights for this year. So just to jump into it, we're here for one reason, and it's to modernize how distributors build relationships and get work done. Three things I want to call out here is the word distributors. We are squarely focused on distributors as our customer set, our persona, and ultimately want to drive better outcomes for you. Build relationships. We understand relationships are your competitive advantage. So however we can make that web or mesh between you and your customers stronger is something we lean in on. And then finally, get work done. We know you're working hard for your customers. Hopefully you perceive us as working hard for you. We want to help you do more and really stand out in front of your customers. So I'm going to hop to the next slide. Where do we start? Back in 2016, we started hanging out with these guys. As a contractor in a crawl space, needing a new motor. We observed he was communicating in many different ways with his distributor to place orders. And then, where do these orders go? Like, where do they go to get served? That brought us to these guys. So we spent over a year at the counter, drinking bad coffee, eating donuts, but really observing how relationships were being built and how work was getting done at your counter, with your inside sales team. It's a lot of what you expect: walk-in, phone, email, but we also observed texting happening on personal devices. This made it hard to manage. When things are happening, flying around, the messages are in your pocket. The result was orders were getting dropped. Information was not being shared across the counter. Information was siloed. So me and my co-founders, Mark and McKay, we said, hey, there's got to be a better way to do this. So in 2018, we launched Prokeep, and we launched a simple branch texting tool. So branch texting, for those of y'all that don't know, allow contractors to text an order, picture, really whatever, directly into a branch or group of inside sales counter people, making it easier for them to field orders, but also deliver a better customer experience for their customers. We make it easier for you to send in pictures, get eyes on what's needed out in the field, place orders, and you no longer need to wait on hold, and then establish a transparency because these messages are now being shared across the counter in the business. This led us to another opportunity. So we added branch broadcast messaging, so distributors can send one text message out to many different customers or employees for a number of different reasons. First, marketing promotions. If you have those things in your warehouse that are collecting dust, get those out there. move them off the shelf. Urgent updates to employees or customers alike on weather events or store change hours, etc. All through this time, we were also adding integrations. We heard from our customers this was important, that we need to play friendly with other systems. We started slow, but we've gained a lot of momentum recently and now have over 11 integrations active. What's really cool and what's really interesting is we have customers leveraging our open API now and building to us and bringing us ideas for what we need to integrate. The tools are out there. We have an awesome team here to support so that you can build what you want to build. So moving into 2023, this was a huge year for us. Absolutely awesome. A lot of momentum in this year and carrying forward to next year. So a quick snippet of where we are. So we're fortunate that our product, our story has resonated with many of you on this call. We're proud to say that we serve over 1,000 distributors, representing over 7,000 locations and now over 40,000 users across the US and Canada. Your employees, our users, have interacted with over 1 million different contractors, carrying forward 11 million conversations, either, getting orders, answering questions, etc. What does this really mean to you? Prokeep turns conversations into commerce. So today, Prokeep has facilitated over $6 billion in revenue to our customers through conversations on our platform. This is something that makes us really proud and helping push your business forward and deliver real value. And it motivates our employees. Speaking of which, we have over 90 full-time staff, which is absolutely wild because back in 2018, it was just Mark McKay and I, 3 of us, a dream and a vision. We're excited that that's resonated. We're building a team behind us to support and push the company forward beyond our wildest dreams. So here's some key hires that we made this past year that are helping us realize that vision for you. So taking it back, whenever we look at pushing the company forward or how we can do that best, we draw inspiration from what you see on a day-to-day. So we took another look at the counter. It's not just texting they struggle with or managing text communication. It's across a whole host of channels. They're also managing email. They're also managing phones, walk-ins. If you go to the next one, web chat, faxes, and then where does all this information go? It's siloed across all these disparate systems. So we're solving that by bringing that into Prokeep so that you have your data, you have your conversation data in one single place. So we built an infrastructure around that and derived from that problem. So earlier this year in 2023, we announced that Prokeep is no longer just a texting tool. We're the distributor conversation hub, what that means is we're bringing all your digital communication into one place, into a single pane of glass. We started with texting, obviously. We expanded into these other channels. And I'm excited to say that we're helping you now drive more action with that. So the power of Prokeep is not only the efficiency gain by consolidating all these channels, but these consolidated conversations turn into data that can help you and your team drive strong relationships with your customers. So we're doing this primarily in 3 different ways. Sales enablement. So be proactive with your customer base, deliver a promotion to the right person at the right time. Second, customer experience. Super important in this day and age to be perceived and also deliver the best customer experience in your area. So you want to be transparent with your customers so they know the status of their order, when to pick it up so they can fit it into their workflow. And then finally, as I mentioned, we're bringing all these things into one area. So you have your customer records in one place. So if a salesperson leaves tomorrow, God forbid, he or she doesn't take their relationships with them. So hopefully that was helpful in the frame up kind of where we are as a company. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to hand it over to Brian so you can dig more into some of the features that we released this year, and then also give you a 2024 sneak peek. Over to you, Brian.
Perfect. Thank you, Jack. Jack covered some of these topics in the history of Prokeep, but I want to focus in on the things we did specifically in 2023. And then again, we'll hit some exciting stuff coming in 2024. So as Jack alluded to, while Prokeep started as a text enablement platform, we've really expanded this conversation hub to be a true unified inbox for our customers across a multitude of channels. We get shared emails that are going to groups that are not visible and who's claiming what. We have fax machines. If you have a fax still at your office, or if you're routing it through a digital system, it's still going to an email somewhere. And web chat is another product that we launched this year. Again, many of our customers are using web chat. They were using a third-party tool with a different notification system, different tracking of that information and conversation. We bring all that into our centralized inbox, which is the primary value proposition now around our conversation hub. So exciting new channels. If anybody that's on the call hasn't taken advantage of these, that you're an existing customer, we absolutely want you to reach out and get these turned on and get them as part of your subscription in Prokeep. Next one. We've expanded our integrations. Again, we continue to integrate with more ERPs, CRMs, fulfillment and delivery notification systems. We've also recently introduced some Zapier connections, which make it very easy for our customers to hook into our platform without having to potentially write code. So again, expanding our ecosystems of talking to the key platforms that you are running your businesses on is important for Prokeep, and something that we'll continue to do in 2024. The next one talks about some payment collections work we did earlier this year. From a arrears collection perspective, a lot of the dunning process is done via phone and email, again, through someone's perhaps Outlook account or on their personal device. Bring all this into our inbound and outbound motion, a dedicated sort of channel that lets collections and credit agents reach out to customers through text or email. But text is sort of the new way to communicate with those folks and get their attention when they owe you arrears past a certain time. Next one is our contact functionality. We started this business, and now bringing in all these contacts that are texting in is a super important part. And now with our additional channels, we have more opportunities to build a repository of your contacts, which are often not the cleanest of data points. We've really maintained those contacts for our customers and built some functionality around enhancing that list. So when we talk about syncing with a Salesforce or a HubSpot, for example, or an ERP like NetSuite, often Prokeep is looked at as the actual subject matter record for contacts, meaning we are the cleanest list of contacts you have, and it's matched up with the interface that you have with your customers through the application. So a lot more work there. And then lastly, we've added a lot more functionality to help new users get onboarded and learn in the platform itself. Guides, tips, and tricks, as well as some enhanced knowledge center work that we're rolling out as well. So really trying to make the platform a little bit more self-service for those that are asking questions or new users. So that is the highlights of 2023. And I think we want to really spend some time talking about what's coming in 2024. Let's dive into the first one. It just gives you guys kind of an idea of where we're focused on overall in 2024. Go on to the next one. Our primary focus, go ahead. We really want to, as Jack mentioned, we're in the business of help you guys build stronger relationships with your customers. And it's all rooted in this communication, digital and otherwise, continuing to push more into that workflow to help you be more efficient and have a better customer experience. Next area of focus overall for us is making it easier for you to optimize your work within the tool itself. Talk about a couple of features that we're launching, particularly at the enterprise scale here, where we have very large customers with many branches and locations. We're introducing some new functionality to make it easier to get a handle on how your customers are interacting within Prokeep and how your users can be more efficient. Next one, we're really moving beyond the notion of what we started, which was just a digital Rolodex of customer lists, into a really robust CRM type function, really helping you understand the communication and interaction that your sales reps are having with your customers, and now moving into motion to be more proactive and drive more sales as opposed to just be more reactive on the inbound. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a couple slides. So that's the major high level focus of 2024. So I want to give you guys a sneak peek of some of the cool features that we have in the hopper. One is dashboards. And it's role-based dashboards to give specific users info that they need to understand how to optimize their use in Prokeep. So this is an example of a member or a manager or admin dashboard that we're launching. And this gives managers the ability to see how their teams are performing, to get a real-time view of unclaimed conversations or open conversations, where those conversations are coming from, being able to drive into specific locations or even individual users to understand how they're using the tool and where there's opportunity to improve. Additionally, we're looking at then taking that down to an actual sales rep mentality, letting them come in and see not only the communication that is happening in the threads that are in front of them, but also what are the tasks and goals can we set for them at the manager level to help them do their job more effectively. So we're excited about giving you real specific information that helps you drive action to be more efficient within Prokeep. So dashboards is coming soon. Next one, Brooks, some messaging rules. Think about in an Outlook mindset, how you can build rules to take an inbound email and take it to a certain folder or delete it. So something similar here in terms of a Prokeep mentality. So really allowing you to build routing rules custom to your org. The common use case we're thinking about right now, and the first one we're launching, is the ability to take a thread that hasn't been closed at the end of a conversation and auto close that after a certain amount of time. That way, when the next time that rep or that customer texts in or messages in, it doesn't go into the same open thread. It goes back into the main queue for claiming. Other examples, and go ahead on the next one there, Brooks, we're going to give a bunch of templates and defaults to get you started on a path for optimal usage. So again, some things may be custom specific to a given where a VIP customer texts in, where you want that message to route. And if that group isn't available, it can route to a secondary user as well or secondary rep. So really giving you a lot more opportunity to build workflows specific to your organizational structures. Next one, Brooks, AI, hot topic in the world, hot topic in our industry. We're actively launching some AI capabilities, and the focus for us really is to help give your employees superpowers, scale the tracking of insights about your customers, making those conversations more efficient. Think about things like very simple use cases of if a customer of yours happens to send a picture of their credit card in to make payment, it's happened before. Not great. Blocking credit card images or strings of credit cards. Spam blocking, introduced auto replies, not on all things, but things like, hey, what are your store hours? So we have the ability to recognize those questions now through natural language detection and just go ahead and queue up an auto reply. We're also looking at some more advanced tagging of the content itself. No, this is related to an order or a warranty, or this is asking for a specific quantity of a specific SKU. We can now grab those pieces of information out of the text and make it much easier to process an order in your ERP. So some really exciting stuff rolling out with AI. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, but this is where we're getting started here at the beginning part of 2024. I think we've got 2 more to go. Regional structure. Our company has grown in terms of who we serve. And that includes now some very large enterprise customers that have thousands and thousands of locations. So we're introducing a new layer here in terms of the structure of building out groups. And we have what we call regions. Now, like a regional manager see just their territory and do it in a more concise way. This also helps with user management, again, onboarding a new group or user in a structure that is really geared towards some of our enterprise customers. So excited about some of this efficiency that this is going to drive for our large enterprise base. And Jack touched on this, our enhanced broadcast text messaging tool. We launched this previously, and we're making a lot of improvements to it to help you sell more proactively. So as Jack referred to, our platform has been primarily inbound related, and we are now pushing the ability to sell outbound push marketing and promotions to your customers through text. Some of the enhancements we're making this year. Go ahead, Brooks. Again, the broadcast message system that we're talking about, getting those critical pieces of info out to users quickly to the right audience and allowing you to segment those. Some reporting enhancements on how these text message campaigns are working. What's the reach? How many people are opening those messages? What's the performance actually from sending out and reaching out to your customers proactively? And then the last piece is really a new way of building your audience list, getting the message to the right customers quickly and easily. So again, say we have contacts labeled as VIP and they're HVAC customers and they only shop in the Philadelphia region, your marketing team can very easily target them based on some new structures in our platform. And last but not least, more integrations and use cases along with those integrations. We're in the process now of doing some work with Infor. We're going to expand our work in Epicor to hit on BizJack. BoxLock is a fulfillment pickup smart lock company that we're doing some work with. E-commerce players like Unilog and Adobe Commerce, formerly known as Magento, doing some interesting work with those tools to bring more capabilities into Prokeep, such as cart was abandoned for one of your customers. Let your sales rep know that there was a big order that they left hanging out there online. And so follow up, really, again, making those sales reps more efficient on the sales motion. So a lot in store for 2024. This is certainly not everything we're doing, but wanted to give all of you guys a sneak peek of some of the big items we have in queue.
Amazing. Jack, Brian, thank you guys for giving us a read on where Prokeep has been and where we're going. Now looks like we have a little bit of time for some questions, but before we do so, I wanted to pull up this screen. For those of you that are current Prokeep customers and are learning about some of these features for the first time, or maybe you're just now saying, hey, I think it's time for us to add email, add web chat, or get rid of that old fax machine. There's a QR code here on the left side of your screen. If you want to scan that with your phone, feel free to do so and then fill out the quick form, and we'll get back with you guys today. If you are seeing Prokeep for the first time, brand new, really pumped and want to bring it on to help your business, scan that one on the right, and we'll get somebody to contact you once again today to find a time to figure out when we can walk you through the platform and tell you a little bit how it can really revolutionize your business. So we got about 6 or so minutes left for questions. So if you guys want to use the Q&A portal on Zoom and throw out any questions you may have, we'll get them answered for you. Let's see. First question is, do all the contacts have to be saved within Prokeep to use the new templates? Brian, that may be a good one for you on the product side there.
Yeah, part of our core here is allowing you to do more with your contacts, but of course means those contacts need to be in Prokeep. We have a bunch of different ways of maintaining contacts in Prokeep, including syncing contacts with other systems. We have some customers who really have used Prokeep to build some capacity and expertise around their customer list. As you can imagine, those are not always in the cleanest place. So they may be on a Rolodex, they may be in a spreadsheet. If they're in an ERP, we sync contacts with those, so we maintain up-to-date records. If they're in a CRM like Salesforce or HubSpot, we do the same. But we have a lot of customers that use Prokeep as their core contact repository, and we have ways to mass upload those, mass edit those. Our teams can also help get your contacts into the system. If you have any questions or concerns, getting your contacts in and understanding who you're who you're communicating with, and then taking action based on that communication and that list is really important. So it's a long-winded answer, but yes, we want those contacts in Prokeep, and let's follow up on ways to help if that's a challenge for you.
Awesome. Next question. Through any of the integrations, are there ways to send automated messages to customers? Brian, you want to tackle that one too?
100%. That's the outside of the contact sync. That is the primary use case and workflow of why we integrate with other systems. So let's take a quick example of a smart locker pickup. When those messages are being delivered, we can have them all come en route and target through Prokeep and be sent out through the Prokeep known number. If they have a question about that pickup, they can reply back to you. Those are some third-party system messages that may be going already through Twilio, but we bring those through Prokeep. That's a pretty simple interaction. And then in terms of ERPs, one of the primary use cases we unlock is the delivery of actual order status updates and order notification changes through Prokeep. Some ERPs have those triggers. We've built ways to recognize those triggers where your ERP doesn't. But absolutely, sending sort of system-based messages that don't involve a manual process is core to what we're doing. Also helping customers manage things like open orders or hangout orders, tying into workflow automation to allow text to be sent automatically when there's a particular piece of equipment that's been sitting in will call for 2 weeks and hasn't been picked up, right? So understanding whether that customer still wants it, still needs it before you drop it back in stock. So yes, absolutely. Status manual processes getting moved into automated workflows and using text and messaging as part of the process is core to our integration strategy.
Amazing. It looks like we got a lot of questions about dashboards. People are chomping at the bit to get those in to help their business. Couple questions about when do we expect the dashboards to roll out?
We have a short list of customers that will be seeing the manager dashboard early part of January. So we've been doing some initial testing with some of our core customers that really have leaned in and helped us sort of gather the requirements for those products. I would expect we will see both those dashboards in the first quarter of the year. Some of you on this call may be getting a tap on the shoulder to get an early view of some of those actually in the next few weeks. So it's actively ready. Early January is we're going to start testing it out in production with some customers.
I got a question for you, Brian. Can I jump in, Brooks?
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, I was inspired by a question here from the audience. But Brian, has anybody approached Prokeep to integrating with our messaging capabilities into a mobile app? Like, for instance, if I'm a distributor and I have a mobile app that my customers use, would they be able to use that to message into my Prokeep instance?
Yeah, we actually are rolling out a new product that we didn't cover in the sneak peek because it's probably a little bit further out than Q1, where we're focused. But yes, a messaging ability to send messages into Prokeep from third-party applications is something that we're actively working on. And this includes apps that you may offer to your contractor or technician customers to communicate with you. And that could be, think about it like an in-app web chat, if you will, where instead of having to go on a website and chat, they can have an inline chat right out of your app. So yeah, so some SDKs to make that very easy for your engineering teams and design teams to launch that in an app is absolutely something that we have our eye on. And it's also going to allow some third-party software tools that you may not own to send messages into Prokeep. And we'll probably talk about that one on the next webinar, but absolutely something that we're working on.
Yeah, that's a great, good inspiration. So if our goal is to bring all these digital communication conversations into a single pane of glass, so that it makes it easy for your salespeople to react and answer all these things in one place. So if you have inspiration for us for tools that your customers may use that you want, coming into that single pane of glass, it's great stuff to kick over to your TSM or get in touch. We love that stuff.
All right, guys. Well, that looks like all time that we have today. Once again, we are happy to answer any and all questions for you guys. That's the way we learn and make things better, and here to serve you guys and build those relationships. So hope everybody has a great holiday season. Happy New Year. We're really pumped about next year and look forward to growing our businesses together. So we'll talk soon. Thanks a lot.
Y'all.
Thanks, folks.